Hornycore. It's music for Gooners by Gooners. It's down bad music for down bad people, and I love this kind of music. And the best thing about it is that it isn't even really one sound or genre, it's a vibe. And no song exemplifies it better than Absolute Territory by Ken Ashcorp. So that's a good primer for you, and a great example of what's to come. Ken Ashcorp is like an internet singer-songwriter who has spec'd into making music about video game and internet culture specifically. Which of course you can't talk about without getting a little freaky. But it's not like Hornycore has to be locked down to like League of Legends players and basement dwellers. Arguably, Hornycore has pretty much always existed. I think most people know what someone means when they talk about baby-making music. A modern pop culture example being this exact part of Sleep Token's The Summoning. If you want to see what this kind of music does to people, hop on any short-form social media platform of your choosing and look for videos featuring that song. It's a lot. And if you didn't expect Sleep Token as the token example, I get it. Baby making music really has its roots in more soulful R&B stuff. Have you ever seen Usher's Tiny Desk performance? That man is hot. All right? Like, there's no discussion. Like, this is... That man, he's locked in. All right? Which leads into another worthwhile aside about this video. If you're expecting this video to play it straight and only cover like generic male gaze hetero music, you're going to want to run because shit will be getting extraordinarily gay. And that leads us perfectly into our next song, Red Wine Supernova by Chappelle Roan. Which, of course, I am not the intended audience for this song, and yet it slaps. I will be found dancing around like an idiot to this clearly lesbian-coded song. I feel like at this point, there's a pretty solid argument to be made that Hornycore overlaps pretty heavily with like baby-making music and music depicting like a lot of romantic and intimate yearning. I think what usually pushes something over the edge into the horny territory is when things get explicit while still retaining a rhythm or beat that kind of carries the horniness forward. A lot of Hornycore consequently will feature heavier electronic instrumentation reminiscent of drum and bass or similar EDM rave type of music. Take, for example, You Got That by Halogen, which has spawned dozens and dozens of different video edits and funny memes cutting in a range of weird and intense and funny clips, such as the very famous variant of Ricardo Miles oiled up and dancing to the beat instead of the alternative. And that's kind of arguably another interesting aspect of Hornycore. I think it needs a visual component to really be what it is. Whether we're talking about normie stuff, like Kali Uchis's respectfully very nice appearance in her music video for Telepatia, or in contrast, something like Rabbit Hole, made by Deco27. Which is more than a little suggestive, enough to spawn wildly popular accompanying animations that really turn things up to 11. Alright, now how about this? I'm going to go a bit rapid fire, beginning with stuff that's well known, and I'm going to continue trending towards progressively more and more niche examples of this type of music. First up, we have Unholy by Sam Smith and Kim Petras. This is like classic mainstream Hornycore. We've got lewd visuals, lewd content, and a sexy bass line and beat. There are some god-tier covers of this song that turn it up even more. I especially like this cover by Anna Pantsu on YouTube and Chloe Breeze. I like it for completely normal, not noteworthy reasons. Not the only one that can get it done. Mommy puts it down. The kind of woman that will actually just kill me. Now, a song that's like exceptionally popular on YouTube, though maybe not like in mainstream media. This is Money on the Dash by Ellie Duhay. Which I have no clue if I just said that right. What brings this video to another level is the animation from Moika Loop. that was published alongside the actual single. This is another interesting case study because this one highlights how the visuals can really bring like a horny song to like that different level, right? Like this isn't just some like fun, sensual, intimate song. This is like just Gooner shit at this point. And yes, the lyrics of the song have some lewd allusions to it, but really it's the animation that makes this something else. And the issue is you can't really separate the sound from the animation because it's intended to go to the beat. And so I would say to some degree, this kind of like Gooner music is an emergent subgenre where things have to come together to create a collective freaky aesthetic. Sticking with things you might know about because it's pretty popular, we've got Baby No Money with Gigolo. A great addition to the mix so far because it's got the vibes. It's funny, it's playful, he looks great in it. It's a hilarious video. It's got an awesome sample in the actual instrumental for it. It's Hornycore music, man. And now I'd like to introduce a small independent rapper by the name of Pinky. Some of her stuff has been debuted alongside AMVs on a channel called Trash, which is like one of the best AMV editors in the game. She has a song called Shut Up that is edited to an anime called Gurren Lagann.
Can you shut up? Can you just shut up?
And it's good. It's got all the classic things it needs. But Pinky, especially with her lyricism and her aesthetic, she like really turns up the heat and to the point of like almost hypersexual depictions, like it's hypersexuality type of stuff. It's fun. It's got a good anime in it. The sound is great. The beat is genuinely very, very good. She has another song called Meow that has more playful and light tones to it, but it's still very much like Hornycore Gooner music.
Baby, I'm a fucking doll. Kids, meow, bass, wow.
And what I think is interesting is that her depictions especially kind of tie into like themes of sexual liberation and sexual revolution, which has happened many times throughout world and different parts of history, right? I can see the prevalence of this type of music and these aesthetics as a side effect of the world kind of opening up and it being easier for people to be explicit in these ways. All right, now we're going to get concerningly specific to the point of a mild amount of embarrassment that I even know the following things. There used to be a channel here on YouTube called Mox or Moxie Floxy. And while I'm not entirely certain like how they did what they did, from what I could tell, Mox made both the animations and the music for these like lewd hornycore Gooner videos that they would publish. But the thing is, the music was peak. It was like really good, high quality EDM rave music. And it was freaky, all right? They had like one song, for example, called Brat, and it used some very intense samples as part of the actual sound. It sounds like something you could absolutely find in like a very underground, like rave or EDM concert somewhere in the city. That it's like in a basement somewhere, right? It's that type of vibe, except it's got really good lewd animations paired with it. Of course, that did eventually lead to the channel not being able to exist on YouTube anymore, so we're really towing the line here. In kind of a similar kind of idea, there's another channel that still exists here on YouTube called Optional Objective, who makes very funny, like, anime-related content, and what they do is they'll pair an image of, like, a Google Earth location that has, like, a mildly lewd subcategory of word in it, and then they'll flash up images of different aesthetics that are tied to that. For example, like Goth Park. The work that they do is exceptional. It's fun, it's interesting, and it is indeed Gooner as fuck. And now, at the extremely niche and underrated end of the spectrum, we've got a producer named Feminem, who makes, quote, breakcore, hyperpop, hardcore mix type stuff, exemplified in their song Love Zombie, which is completely insane. And tagged out in the video description as hyperpop, happy, hardcore, breakcore, transgender, LGBT, digital hardcore, femcore. It kind of speaks to itself, but it goes very hard. All right, and that's what I'm going to gush to you about so far. If it isn't obvious, music genres are social constructs. Much like sex and gender, they're meant to be squished and mashed and shaped and expanded and redlined till they tear and lose all meaning, just to be like built back up again and then completely destroyed. Hornycore is a great example of that reality. If you found this video to be interesting, I'd like to direct you to another potential idea I had for a video. Hornycore itself has some interesting counterparts, including genres of music that essentially deconstruct hypersexuality through music. Rabbit Hole from earlier is actually kind of one example, and you might not have realized unless you speak Japanese. The lyrics talk about hypersexuality and the use of intimacy as an almost addictive kind of coping mechanism, which stands in a healthy contrast to much of the themes of this video so far. So there are some other Japanese anime adjacent songs that I really love, which achieve a similar goal in deconstructing like hornycore Gooner music, while providing like good and interesting criticisms of sexuality and promiscuity in like greater online culture. If you want to see a video analyzing two very interesting songs of that type, let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to get subscribed. In the settings for this channel, I've told YouTube that all the content I make is not for kids, so hopefully it won't be like recommended to the wrong place. So if you do share this around, please do it considerately, knowing the target audience for this video is of course grown adults like you and me. Take care, goodbye.